The Fury of Firestorm, number 11, written by Joe Harris, art by Yildiray Cinar. Last issue left off with a bunch of rogue firestorms attacking, and apparently Pozar made them, and Ronnie's pissed off about it. This issue picks up with Director Zither looking at all of the destruction that the Firestorm protocols have caused, and basically just talking through it with her secretary, just being like, hey, so our entire business is kind of going under. Like, we're getting subpoenaed by a bunch of federal agencies and such because of us selling these basically nuclear warheads to other countries. But she's like, darn that Professor Stein. He made these things, but he was a fool in how he distributed it. We could have done this safely. We made all these great firestorms. And then the secretary's like, well, you didn't make Johnny or Jason and Ronnie, did you? And they're like, no, we did not. Thank you, Secretary. So cut over to I forget her name, the Indian Firestorm, Pozar, and Ronnie, and they're seeing some rogue firestorms coming over the hills, and basically it's just an extended fight scene between them and the firestorms of Ashra Khan, which I think are just some sort of terrorist cell. So cut back over to Firehawk and Jason, who are in the Siberian taiga, and they're investigating a firestorm facility that seemingly was belonging to Pozar. And Firehawk's able to use some level of something in order to piece together what this place looked like when it was being used. Like, she's got a whole display with her powers. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but Jason's not as interested because he looks off to the side and sees that there's some leftover alpha particles nearby, which he's able to interact with. More on that in a second. We get another fight scene between the Rogue Firestorms and all the other rest of the team. And, sorry, her name was Rakshasi. I'm not going to be able to say that again. But Ronnie is seeing just how much destruction they're causing in the middle of their fight. So he tries to zoom away from the city, and he pulls several of the Rogue Firestorms with him. And Pozar's like, maybe in a different life you would have made a good leader, kid. And Rakshasi is like, hey, he doesn't have the power to transmute things. Maybe we should go help. And Pozar's, for some reason, really pissed off by this. He's like, you have no idea the power he possesses. And blasts Rakshasi for some reason. Then we got back to Jason, who, it turns out those alpha particles weren't just random particles. They were like the spirit or something of Professor Stein, who basically tells him, look, you and Ronnie are linked together. You need each other in order to make this work. He's off following his own thing, but, you need to be there for him and get him back on track. So, and Firehawk's looking over, and he's just seeing Jason basically standing there what are you doing, dude? But anyway, Professor Stein says, here's the deal. If Ronnie gets compromised, if he goes too far down that path, everything goes wrong, because if you expose someone to the Firestorm protocols once, they get cool powers. But if you expose them a second time, something terrible will happen. And so, in doing so, the alpha particles somehow give Jason another copy of the Firestorm protocols to use in some manner. They don't specifically say how. So then we cut back to the fight again, and Ronnie's still out running the rogue ones, but only just barely, and they're starting to lay some hands on him, and he's like, ugh, I can't keep running. I have to fight back. And so he unleashes his power, which just rips all of the firestorms atom from atom. They're just gone. And Pozar shows up as he's in a weakened state, and it's just yes, good job. You have so much power, so much potential. It's a shame to see it all wasted. Going back to Jason, who immediately just takes off as soon as he gets this Firestorm protocol, and Firehawk has to literally teleport in front of him, more or less. It's just where are you going? You didn't even say anything. It's just look, Ronnie's in trouble. I can't explain it. I got to go in there and save him. And Firehawk basically breaks down no, you are a representative to your country. You can't just fly into this random country and start fighting. There are international rules here. We can go, we can get your friends, we can get diplomacy here. We can do a whole bunch of, call them the Justice League, but we can do something here besides you causing another international incident. And during this fight, he just kind of like phases out of existence and just flies away again. And Firehawk's like, all right, well, bye. I don't think he's coming back. So anyway, again, Bozar's standing over top of Jason, just like, oh, I see you're struggling with all this power. I can't believe you're so unwilling to use it. And Roxashi's like, no, don't trust him, Ronnie. To which Bozar then grabs Ronnie and fuses with him, not with a kiss, just by like squeezing him, I guess. And we get our new Firestorm mashup, Scorn. Cool. I can't even remember what the Firehawk one was anymore, but this one's Scorn. And honest to God, it is a decent character design. It's got like devil horns going on. I do like the design of it. I lost the plot. I feel like they were doing this thing where it's like, what are Pozar's true intentions? What does he really want for everyone? But like, maybe I just lost it. Maybe it was too circuitous and too like deep under the surface. But really, that entire side of things, I have no idea what's going on, of whether or not, as a reader, the writer thinks that I do trust Bozar, don't trust Bozar, like whether Ronnie trusts him or not. Like we had that whole thing where Ronnie came in at the end of last issue saying, what do you know? I'm ready to fight you, Bozar. And then this issue was just like, thanks for telling me the truth, I guess. Like, what are we... genuinely, that side of the plot is completely lost to me. I have no idea what's going on with it anymore. Maybe that's on me as a reader, but I feel like I've been at least paying decent attention here. So, yeah, overall, this issue's fine. It's not anything awful. It's just kind of, I don't know, when you've lost the plot and then this issue is just forwarding the plot, I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, it seems like we're finally coming to the point where we're going to be merging these two things together because Jason is on a direct course to Ronnie. So, we're done with it. We will be soon done with it. But until that happens, I don't know what I'm even supposed to be caring about right now. Are we doing a morality thing? I know this all sprung up from when the Rogue Firestorm exploded at the concert. But then after that, I lost it. So please, let me know what I'm missing here. Overall, I got to give this one like a 6. I can't even do 0.5. I was debating on that. I'm giving just a 6 just because it's just gotten too weird for its own sake. I don't know what they've introduced, this whole thing of like, oh, the Firestorms are meant to defend the nations, but then once they actually are defending the nations, their Zither tech is called up on. I don't know. It's too much. It's just too much.